JP fans to my own front door, a blue horizon on the second floor.
With all of the excitement surrounding the Anbernic RG Vita and the disappointment of actually playing Vita, I decided to seek out an actual PS Vita. And thanks to our friends at JP Fans, I ordered a Vita off of the used market in Japan, a Japanese model in great condition at a great price. And today we're going to unbox and take a look at that Vita and talk about the Vita in 2026 and what it can do. The emulation is not yet there, even with the most powerful devices like your Odin 3. Remember to hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss an episode. But let's get this thing open, take a look at the Vita, and see what I feel about this handheld that I haven't touched in more than 10 years. Let's go.
Why haven't you touched this Vita in years? Oh,
I know, I'm sorry. I just haven't had the time lately, but I promise I'll start playing it this weekend.
It's true. I haven't picked up a PS Vita in more than 10 years since I had my original launch edition. But to recap, we ordered from JP Fans off of the used market a PS Vita so I could reignite my love of this unique handheld. So let's recap. It took about, I'd say, 10 days from ordering to get the Vita in my hands. You can go watch the first video about the first process. But when it arrived, as you can see here, it arrived very well packaged. I've got to say I was very impressed with the packaging of this used handheld. Now, I bought this without a box, so there was no box or manuals or anything like that, but it came really nice. I also picked up this purple metallic cover for it. And so as you can see here, it came out looking beautiful. Taking it out of the package, everything was great. I want to say that they prepared it and made it look beautiful. It was safe. It wasn't a huge box with a lot of wasted space. It was really nice. But getting the handheld out and taking a look at it, I was immediately impressed with how nice this thing looks. I mean, it just looks beautiful in person. It is used, but yet it looks in really good condition. And as a reminder, I picked this up for about the equivalent of about $120 on the used market in Japan. These things going on Amazon refurbished are like $250, so I think that's a great deal. Now, of course, we did have to pay some fees to get this thing shipped over to us, as well as some import taxes on that. But overall, I still came out at a total of about $190 that I spent to get this shipped to me after purchasing it overseas. I think it's a really good bargain, and I think that it's a great service. But let's take a look at the Vita since it's been a while since I've held one. And let's, as always, test out the hardware. And these buttons, oh, so nice. The buttons are just fantastic. They're crystal. They look great. Now, mind you, this is the Vita Slim, the 2000 model. But boy, I love them. They're a little bit smaller than I remember, but I would say that they're very nice. They have a good travel distance to them. They're very well made. It's another reminder of how all of the Chinese clones that we play with really should be making better hardware, because all the OEMs from the years back, this is a 15-year-old console, or maybe 12-year-old, however old console, it really just shows that they've been doing this for a while. Moving to the D-pad, and I've always loved the Vita D-pad. And we've seen this D-pad on some other handhelds, and it reminds me a lot of what Ioneo has used on some of their more premium handhelds. This thing pivots, it rocks, it feels good, it's got a good travel distance, it's just amazing to use. Now, the Vita sticks. we've seen this used, and there is no R3 and L3, so you're not going to click them in. They're pretty stiff filling, and they're kind of tiny. So after having used so much better hardware, especially with the Genful sticks, it's a little hard to get excited about these Vita sticks. But they are known quantities. They're the Vita sticks. They're not awful. I just prefer some of the newer stuff. Looking around the rest of this, we do have the PlayStation button on here, and then we have a select and start button on there on the bottom, along with the front firing speakers on each side, giving it that nice sound. We also have these shoulder buttons. Looking at the shoulder buttons, and you can immediately tell that it works. It just works and feels great. I love the feel of these shoulder buttons. Again, we don't have L2 or R2, but that's okay because this is going to play hardware and games tuned for it. Moving around the top, we do have a power button, two indicator lights. We have the PS Vita door for your game cartridges, and we have a volume plus and minus, along with a camera back there on the back. That's right, it does have a camera on the back side. On the 2000 model, we also have a camera on the front side. That's right, dual cameras. Cameras were a thing with the 2DS, the 3DS, the Vita. I guess it's a big thing. We have this nice, beautiful screen. Now, the 2000 model is an LCD screen. It's not the original OLED screen. And way back when this first came out, we were so impressed with the OLED screen. It was amazing that a handheld had OLED on it. Now, looking back, that was sort of a very poor OLED screen. And it's been used at times in other items like the Ambernic RG505, showing its age and how LCD can be a lot better. This is a big, beautiful, bright screen. I like it. On the back here, we have the touchpad, the unique touchpad with games like Tearaway, which used it and incorporated it, and the PlayStation logo. The handheld is also, this is the slim model. It feels so nice. The weight of it is great. It's great to hold. I love this blue color. I think it's amazing. And then, like I said, I did pick up this metallic cover. And let's put the cover on and see how much bulk it adds to it. Now, I love metal, and so putting this on here is pretty exciting. And it's pretty simple to go on. It snaps on around the handheld. And once it's on there, it is a nice fit. And now you have this nice little metallic with a plastic mix on it. And it does inset the buttons a little bit. That is one criticism of it. The buttons are a little inset, especially the PS button and the start and select. But I think it just looks so much better. I do have a blue version coming because I think the purple just contrasted too much to match it. But boy, I like that you can put it on and take it off. But let's get this thing kind of booted up and test it out. And let's talk about why playing original hardware on a channel that we do a lot of emulation, why this is a great experience. And we think you should check out JP Fans maybe if you want to buy your own for a great deal. Hey guys, sorry to interrupt the video, but I wanted to take a moment to talk about today's sponsor, AliExpress. And one of the products that you can pick up at a great price is this. Yes, Ambernic's new controller. We've been using this controller and testing it out. And yes, it's a crazy one that has the heartbeat sensor and it has the screen on it, but it's got great micro switches. It comes in an awesome color like this yellow, and it just hooks up and works. I was able to use the dongle to have it connect really quickly. I also tested it with Bluetooth. You can use it on a variety of items, and like Ambernic usual quality, it's really well made. Make sure you hit the links in the description below so you can save with the codes of the biggest sales of the year. We'd like to thank AliExpress for as always being our partner in this channel. Check it out, guys. Anyways, back to the show. Okay, so why would you, if you have an Odin 3 or you have a Thor or some high-end handheld, or maybe you even bought the Ambernic RG Vita Pro, why would you not just emulate and play Vita? Well, the truth of it is, while progress continues to evolve and the team is doing an amazing job, the Vita 3K emulator still lacks the ability to play a large portion of games. And some of the best games like Uncharted that you'll see on the original hardware is just simply not going to give you the same experience trying to set it up and fiddle with it and emulate it. And so for that reason, I think the Vita is a perfect example of a handheld that still has a lot of reason to play original hardware. Once the emulator catches up, maybe that'll change. But as you can see here, it's got that wonderful ecosystem. The most recent update is firmware 3.74 as of the filming of this video. Now, in the years since this has quit production, people have been able to jailbreak the Vita. And there's a lot of tutorials and guides out there on how to do that. This is not one of them, but I'll leave a link in the description. But getting this set up and adding something called an SD to Vita card will give you the ability to have a ton of homebrew software as well as, emulation. You can emulate PSP on this thing as well as PlayStation 1 games, and it works very well. Now, emulation for other systems is progressing, and it's at different levels. But for the fact of being able to play PSP on this thing, along with all of the PS Vita catalog, I think it's a great proposition, especially if you can get a unit at around $200. I think that's pretty nice. It is a fun ecosystem with a lot of wonderful titles that I've been exploring. There's also a lot of homebrew stuff in a very vibrant scene, including some Nintendo 64 stuff that is being developed over time and getting better as we go. I have found that the PS Vita, for me, still holds a place in my rotation when I want to play those PS specific games, especially the Vita titles, and even the PSP, although I have a few other emulator handhelds that I may prefer for PSP. Overall, I've found that this is an exciting handheld platform still in this day and age, and it's a handheld that didn't get enough attention, I think, back in the time. Like many other items, it was kind of ahead of its time with the innovative back screen. That's another thing. Kind of like the Nintendo Wii, even when emulation improves, something like Tearaway is not going to play anywhere near like it will on original hardware. It's a great game. You should check it out. But overall, I want to thank JP fans for this experience. Going out and procuring this couldn't have been simpler. It was packed very well. It shipped to me very efficiently. They had great communication. And I'd say if you're looking for something that is either unique to Eastern culture or Japanese culture, or maybe you just want to see if you can pick it up a little bit cheaper by importing it, to check out the link before and register with our code. We have some amazing deals. I'm looking forward to doing more of these. Leave me a link in the comment on what kind of things you'd like to see me import. For one, I'm looking for old Japanese Transformer toys, original toys. I'd love to do a little bit of that. Anything retro from there. There's a lot of unique items and things that I think are probably out there on the open market that people are trading. And now, wherever you're at in Europe or America or whatever, you can easily do that with the help of JP fans. The Vita is a fun system, and I hope the emulation will continue to improve. But for now, I think I recommend checking out a PS Vita. Yes, you could get a PSP, you could get a PSP Go, but the Vita 2000, especially the slim version, I think it's great for both PSP and Vita, and I think it will give you the best of both worlds. What do you think? Let me know. Leave me a comment. What do you think about this? Again, we want to thank them for inviting us to partner with them and look forward to procuring some more unique items from Japan that we can showcase on the channel here. Remember to hug your loved ones and love your hugged ones, because tomorrow is never promised. We'll see you next time, Deadheads. Dead Fred out.